What's up, people? I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I really don't. I just turned the camera on. I have some things I want to talk about. I talked about a video yesterday. It was a real serious video of why is it that like people always say that the so-called white. Well, I'm just gonna call it a follow-up video of the one I did yesterday. If the so-called white people does not love our people, that's what I named the video. The so-called white people does not love our people. Yeah, and I'll just prove why. I'm gonna make it real simple. I'm gonna get to the point. See these stores around me and all these businesses and stuff like that. Why is it there ain't no YouTube been around what? 20 years, right? Half of a decade, right? Can you go and find any videos where so-called white people out of their business standing outside crying out saying, why don't we have a day where people can uh where we can just open up our stores like a pantry or something and give people something whatever it is that they need for free? Because after all, our ancestors stole everything, and they the one here. If it wasn't for them, this country wouldn't be where it is. I mean, this I'm gonna say land wouldn't be where it is now, because I don't like to say no damn America, because there's no such thing as America. Because America, it was something that is two white men name. A white man name, one Africa is one white man name, and America is another white man's name. So the by the idea that it was created and established upon them conquering the land, they didn't ask for it. So why is it there's no crowd? They ain't got out and say, well, you know what? We're gonna prove that. When people say all so-called white people are not like that, well, if that's the case, why is it that they don't let us have anything for free? Take 2 times out of a whole year, twice a month, or maybe one in 1 month, and then the next month have it again. 2 times out of that's 2 times a year. They never thought about. Have y'all ever thought about any of this type of stuff? Y'all never really thought about to do videos on, because everybody, last I checked, everybody always saying, what do they really mean when they say all of them are not like that? And then some people probably gonna come in the comments and say, well, you probably do have a lot of them that's saying it, but they not really being heard. And because when they really for the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and stuff like that, them the ones that were so-called white people they get rid of. That's that they're gonna come with something. They're gonna come with some kind of justification to justify what's going on in the country here. I mean, in this land over here. You see what I'm saying? Because this land belongs to the Native Americans. It does not belong to Europeans. It belongs to the Native Americans. This land is for the original Native Americans. So if all these businesses around here, whether it be whatever business it is, I don't care, direct, auto insurance, all that stuff, all of that is a business. So why have they not said, well, look, we're gonna treat this like pantries, like you go to the food pantry and get food and they give you boxes of stuff like that? Why don't they have a day all over the world, in every part of the world, where the white man went and conquered everybody, took everybody's stuff, and at least say, well, look, they paying for all this stuff. We done tricked them into following our holidays, Thanksgiving, and all of this type of stuff. Why don't we just take this day here and just, instead of having a hold on, they had some music back there. Why don't they just have something like that? Is to say, well, we gonna all over the country, we just gonna allow them to just go in like this day Everything is free. Whatever you want, get it, blah blah, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I that would be good. That would be perfectly good. Instead of just celebrating Thanksgiving and all these holidays and stuff, and all the money. Think about all the money that we put into taxes and all that type of stuff, and how they put into taxes buying the stuff to celebrate so-called Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that type of stuff. Why don't they just say, well, look, uh, at least we can do is do our part. You know what I'm saying? Let whatever it is that they need or they desire, whatever it is. Have y'all ever thought about this type of stuff? You know what I mean? Even gas. I don't care if it's at a gas station. Go to the gas station and say, well, I don't have a car. I never owned a car, so that wouldn't apply. That part wouldn't apply to me. I never owned a car anyway, because I was born in poverty just as bad, and probably got some people worse than me. I don't think nobody's worse than me in poverty. I mean, I'm just saying, we know that the so-called white man ain't nowhere near that. You know what I'm saying? But if you do find a lot of them in poverty, it's because they getting back what they have done, dished out to the Black and Hispanic and Native Americans. So, they can at least do is that they can support us, right? Can they do that? Think about that. Why have they not came up with that and say, well, let's pass this around to all the businesses and let us just think about it. You know what I'm saying? Even the government can push that. The so-called government, the people in the so-called White House that the black people built, the Mexicans built, and they can even send out a decree all over worldwide and just say, and you know what I'm saying? And when they speak, then because the government, they control everything. You see what I'm saying? And they can do it like that. You see what I'm saying? Pass a decree and just to have it once a month. Just like you have these holidays and stuff, make it if you want to make something a national holiday or something, my honest thoughts, why don't you just say, okay, this is a holiday, we're going to give everybody something, whatever it is that they need for, 2 times out of a whole, out of one month. 1 month, have it in 1 month, 1 day, 1 month, one free. Then the next month, have the same thing, and then just let it just roll year round. Just have like say this would be a help to festival to help fund the Black and American, Native American for the stuff that we have taken from them through rape, rob, and murder and all that type of stuff. If they do that, now they'll be on to something. You see what I'm saying? That's what they should do. Instead of working us like convicts, and then after we turn around and work for the minimum wages and stuff like that, that ain't even, you can't even pay for rent like that. You see what I'm saying? Because everything, they make everything so high and all that type of stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And because the amount of money that you pay for rent, it ain't even worth the apartments you stay in ain't even worth all of that. You see what I'm saying? If you gon' the way I see it, if they gonna go up on the rent like that, you might as well just buy you something. Rent, to me, rent to own would be a little bit better. Now, a lot of people disagree with that. You got some people in businesses will tell you that, disagree with that. But in my honest thoughts and my honest opinion, I think that would be good. Yeah, I think it would be good. Yeah, I'm thinking it would be good. I just turned it around to do something a little different. But they should do it, no matter what restaurant it is. These so-called white-owned corporations, stores, businesses, and stuff. Even you know what I'm saying? They let these Arabs come over here and set up stores and set their own businesses up in here. But where is ours at? That's odd. That's crazy. Another nationality can do all that. But have y'all thought about that? Have a day set to where you can get whatever it is you want. I think they really need to start something like that. If they care for our people so much, have y'all ever thought about that? Because you have a lot of ignorant Uncle Toms that's gonna get on here and they're gonna say, you got to get out and stop blaming the white man and do for yourself. Don't depend on the other nations and stuff. But everything that they got it from our people. Everything that they got, it would be like me going equivalent of going stealing from one of my neighbors, and then turn around. My neighbors complain that I took something out of their house. What is my duty? My duty is to give that back what I took from them, right? It would be wrong for other people to step on the truck and be like, well, don't depend upon that. The same man that went into their house and stole, raped, robbed, and murdered, and stole everything in their house or whatever. It would be wrong for people to come and defend that situation in that area. You see how they go? And say, well, don't depend upon him to give you nothing. Start doing for yourself. So they got to work hard for something that they didn't deserve. And they got to work hard and go out there and work hard and get money to slave to get all their stuff back, is what you're saying. Saying stop depending upon the Europeans. I get it in one sense, but on the other hand, it doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because that so-called white man went into that house and stole everything out of that house. So y'all telling this person that don't sit up and depend upon the so-called white man. Don't depend upon them. But that was the same nation that came and took their shit out their house. So they got to go out and work hard for their shit back. For the same man that stole everything, they got to go back out and beg for it and work hard and slave, even though it's theirs, but they got to go and work for something that's already owned by them. The Hispanic people got to work for something hard that's already theirs. Make that make sense. When the Bible tells you that they went and they stole everything. You go read the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verses 1 through 4. The Bible said, would they not have stolen until they had enough? I think it's verse 6 or 7 going down. They stole everything. So that's what you contributed to saying. You contributed to saying something like that. When you tell me, well, go and work for yourself and don't rely upon somebody. Don't work for yourself. Go out there and get it yourself. Don't depend upon somebody else to give it to you. You see what I'm saying? Don't depend upon somebody else to give it to you. Learn to do for yourself. Shit. Yeah, I'm doing for myself. But me doing for myself and doing this shit was stolen from me. So I got to come and work for something somebody stole from me. Make that make sense. Think about it like that. See, that's how you, black and Hispanic, that's how y'all got to look at it. Especially the so-called black people being Uncle Damn Toms and shit and all that type of stuff. Because at the end of the day, do you think the so-called white man gonna put on a suit and I don't know the name that they would use, Uncle Tom for the black man like that? Do you think they gonna do that? You think they gonna mistreat their own people for you? Ice Cube got a song called Black Police Showing Out for the White Cop and all that. And that's true. And you got another one. When have you ever heard the so-called white man showing out for the black police? When have you ever seen that? You ain't gonna see it. So I'm just giving y'all something to think about. Now, this video this video is still not gonna make sense to some people, But for those who got that third eye and those who understand will get it. But those who just some people just it ain't meant for them to get it. You know, I noticed that when I be on TikTok going in and talking about this, trying to talk about these things, I noticed that a lot of our people will step to the side because they feel like they making money on TikTok and they don't want to mess up their money that they already getting because they're afraid they're gonna lose the money that they paying them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But you should never be afraid to lose something for the truth. The truth should be more important to you than anything. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and I'm gonna upload this video, man, and get it out, man. And y'all tell me in the comment section. Well, most people ain't gonna comment upon it. Probably not. I don't know. But it's okay if they don't. You know, it don't. It's all right if they don't at all. You know, it can only have my views or whatever. You know, and my comments or whatever. You know, that's all right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get up out of here and I'm gonna see y'all later, and I'm out.